We talk about getting older all the time, right? But what if I told you that you could actually wind back the clock, on a cellular level? Today we're going to dig into this really cool study that found one specific type of exercise can literally slow down aging inside our cells. It's pretty wild.
So let's just get right to it. Can you really turn back your biological age? We obviously can't stop birthdays from happening, but can we slow down what's happening inside our bodies? Well, the latest science is screaming a big yes. And the answer, well, it might be a lot simpler and maybe a little more intense than you think. Okay, look at this number, 9. A major university study found that doing consistent, high-impact exercise can make your biological age 9 years younger than someone who doesn't exercise much. 9! So the question is, how on earth is that even possible? To really get this, we've got to look at our body's internal clock. And I'm not talking about your birthday. I'm talking about what's happening way down deep inside our DNA. So let's break down the science behind it all.
So what's the big secret here? Well, it all comes down to these tiny little things called telomeres. The best way to think about them is like those little plastic tips on the end of your shoelaces. They sit at the very end of your chromosomes, and their job is to protect your DNA from getting all frayed and messed up. The thing is, as we get older, these telomeres naturally get shorter and shorter. And this picture just lays it out perfectly. See over on the left? Longer telomeres. That's what you want. That's linked to a younger biological age. But on the right, you see the shorter ones. That's a classic sign of aging inside our cells, and it's often tied to age-related diseases. Honestly, the length of your telomeres is one of the best ways we have to measure how old you really are on the inside.
Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. A 9-year difference? That sounds like a pretty bold claim. So you're right to wonder where this information is coming from. And let me tell you, it's all based on some seriously solid research. And we're not talking about some small, flimsy study here. This research was done at Brigham Young University, and it was published in a serious peer-reviewed journal called Preventive Medicine. Get this, they analyzed data from more than 5,800 adults, actually measuring their telomere length right from their blood samples to get these results. So yeah, this is the real deal.
All right, so we've established the science is legit. So the next big question is, what do you actually have to do to get these kinds of results? What's the specific prescription for turning back that cellular clock?
And here it is. This is the exact formula they found in the study. For women, it was 30 minutes of jogging 5 days a week. For men, it was a bit more, about 40 minutes of jogging, also 5 days a week. This is what the study called highly active, and this is the level that led to that incredible 9-year difference.
And this quote from the guy who led the research, Professor Larry Tucker, it just drives the point home perfectly. He basically said, look, if you want a real difference, a little bit of exercise isn't going to cut it. You have to work out regularly and at a high level. So, a casual walk in the park, while it's great for you, isn't going to have this kind of massive anti-aging effect. Intensity is the key. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, ugh, I hate running, or my knees just can't handle that kind of pounding. And you know what? That is a totally fair point. But the good news is, jogging is not the only way to get these benefits. The main idea here is high intensity, not just running itself. So other stuff like HII training or doing sprints on a stationary bike, really tough spin class, or even just going all out on a rowing machine, all of that can give your cells that same kind of jolt they need. The important thing is finding what you can do and then really pushing yourself.
So there you have it. That's the science. A 9-year drop in your cellular age is actually possible. And now you know exactly the kind of effort it takes to get there. It really just leaves us with one final powerful question. Knowing what you know now, what's the first step you're going to take